Hello students, this is Vijay Lakshmi. Welcome back to English class. My dear friends, in our previous class, we were discussing about a story Oru Manushan written by Vaiko Mohammad Bashir, one of the famous Malayalam short story writer. And in the story, we learned that a man, he was in the land of a strangers, and that land, it was a big city which was 1500 miles away from his native place. And the narrator, he went to that city and which was there in the valley of mountains. And this narrator, he did not know the local language of that city, and the people around him, they were cruel people, and they were not knowing the quality of mercy, and they were murderers and the pickpocketers. And so he feels that the world has more evil than good. I explained it in my previous class that it is the opinion of the narrator that the world, it is having more evil than the good. And the money the money was greatly valued by the people in that city, and the people, they were ready to do anything for the sake of money. And in such a city, the narrator Vaiko Mohammad Bashir, he started teaching English for the migrant laborers. He taught English to the migrant workers from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock in the night, and writing addresses in English was considered as a great education. So, till page number 32, we discussed in our previous class, and in today's session, let us have a look on the further content of the lesson. This lesson, Oru Manushan. My dear friends, I request you all to keep the textbook in front of you. First and foremost, I would like to read the lesson and then I will explain it to you all. Please do keep the textbook in front of you. Let me read it. I taught, here I refers to the narrator, the skill of writing addresses to people in order to escape the same fate myself and to see if I could save some money. In those days, I would sleep all day and wake up at 4 in the evening. Underline the sentence. He used to wake up at 4 in the evening. It is a 1 marks question. This was to save the expense of drinking my morning tea or eating the noon meal. One day, I got up at 4 p.m. as usual. I finished my daily chores. Meaning of chore is, it is routine tasks, and stepped out for my tea and a meal. You must understand that I was dressed in a suit. I had a wallet is nothing but a purse, in my coat pocket. I had 14 rupees in it. Dear friends, underline the word 14 rupees. It is also a 1 mark question. My life's savings at that time. I entered a crowded restaurant. I ate a full meal consisting of chapatis and meat curry. I drank tea as well. The bill came to 11 annas. Underline the word 11 annas. It is also a 1 mark question. I put my hand in my coat pocket to pay it. I began sweating profusely. Underline the word profusely. Meaning of profusely is, it is in a large amount or heavily, and almost digested in an instant all that I had eaten. The reason was my wallet was not there. I said, someone has picked my pocket and taken away my wallet. It was a very busy restaurant. The owner gave a loud guffaw. Underline the word guffaw. Meaning of guffaw is, it is laughing loudly. Startling. Underline the word startling. Meaning of startling is, it is surprising. Startling everyone around, he caught me by the lapels of my coat and shaking me, cried, this trick won't work here. Put the money down and go, or else I will gouge your eyes out. Gouging out means it is taking out, removing. I looked at the people around me. I did not see even one kind face. They had the look of hungry wolves. I hope you know the meaning of wolves. Wolves is a plural form of wolf, W-O-L-F, Tola, Tolagalu. If he said he would gouge my eyes out, he would gouge them out. I said, let my coat be here. I will go and bring some money. The restaurant keeper laughed again. He asked me to take off my coat. I took off my coat. He asked me to take off my shirt. I took off my shirt. He asked me to take off both my shoes. I took off both shoes. Finally, he asked him to take off his trousers. Underline the word trousers. Meaning of trousers is pants. So the idea seemed to be strip me. Stripping is nothing but removing. Gouge out my eyes and send me out naked. I said, the narrator said, he has nothing on his underneath. Everyone laughed. The restaurant keeper said, I doubt it. You must have something on underneath. About 50 people repeated, there must be something on underneath. My hands refused to move. I saw in my imagination a man standing in the crowd, stark. Underline the word stark. Meaning of stark is complete, naked, and without his eyes. Life was going to end like that. Let it end. And for all this, I never mind. Oh, creator of the world, my God, I had nothing to say. Everything would end. Everything would end to the satisfaction of all. I began to undo one by one the buttons of my trousers. Then I heard a voice, Stop. I shall pay the money. Everyone turned in the direction of the voice. There stood a fair complexioned man, 6 foot tall, with a red turban and white trousers. Underline this particular paragraph. He sported is nothing but showing. He showed a handlebar mustache and had blue eyes. Blue eyes were quite common at this place. He came forward and asked the restaurant keeper, How much did you say it was? 11 annas. He paid the amount. He turned to me and said, Put on your clothes. I put them on. Throughout the lesson, the narrator using the word I, and you must know that I refers to the narrator only. Come, he called me. I went with him. Did I have words to express my gratitude? Underline the word gratitude. Meaning of gratitude is it is being thankful. ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. I told him, You have done a great deed. I have not seen a finer man. He laughed. To whom does the word he refer? It refers to that stranger, one who helped the narrator. What's your name? He asked. I told him my name and where I came from. I asked the man his name. He said, I have no name. I said, in that case, mercy must be your name. Underline the word mercy. The narrator named that stranger as Mercy. He did not laugh at that. He walked on until we reached a deserted bridge. He looked all around. There was no one. Look, you must go away without turning around. If anyone asks you whether you have seen me, you must say, No. I understood. Now the narrator understood. Why did that stranger told the narrator not to speak about him? Now the narrator understood the things. He took out from his various pockets about 5 wallets. This sentence is very it is a kind of astonishing sentence to you all. See, he took out from his various pockets about 5 wallets. That stranger was having various pockets on his trousers, and he took out all those wallets from his various pockets, and 5 among them was mine. He showed 5 wallets to the narrator, and he asked the narrator to take his wallet. Which of these is yours? I pointed to my wallet. Open it. I opened it. My money was there intact. How much money that the wallet of the narrator was having? It was 14 annas or rupees. It is there in page number 32. See, it is 14 rupees. It is not 14 annas. 14 rupees was there in the purse of the narrator. I pointed to my wallet and he opened it. I opened it. My money was there intact. I put it in my pocket. He told me, Go, may God help you. I repeated, May God help you. It is the story. See, it's A beautiful story where which is making the readers to know the real human being, or to know the qualities of a real human being. My dear friends, let me explain the story. Dear friends, the narrator was working as an English teacher in the city, and since he earned very little, he slept the whole day and woke up at 4 in the evening. So, as to avoid the expenses of his morning tea and his noon meal, he wanted to save the expenses of his food. So, what happened next? One evening, the narrator, after completing his routines, he goes to a crowded restaurant. It was a very busy restaurant, excuse me, to have his food. And when he has to pay the bill of 11 annas, he had his food. And the food was a chapati and a meat curry, and he had a tea as well. And the bill came, and the bill was 11 annas. I told you it is a 1 mark question. And he was about to pay the bill, and he realizes that his purse with his life's savings of 14 rupees is missing. When he tried to give the money, the bill, he realized that his purse was missing. But the owner of the restaurant, he was so cruel, and he thought that the speaker is trying to cheat him and threatens to gouge his eyes out. The owner of the hotel, he threatened the narrator. And moreover, none of the others at the restaurant seemed to have any kindness either. So the speaker requests with the owner to keep his coat as a surety, but the owner laughs and makes the speaker to remove his coat, shirt, and also shoes. When he wants the speaker to remove even the trousers, the speaker pleads with him for mercy, saying he has nothing inside. This only invokes more laughter, and the restaurant owner, along with 50 other people gathered there, forces the speaker to strip further, saying mockingly, "There must be something inside." The speaker, now resigned to his fate, starts unbuttoning his trousers, all the time imagining himself standing naked in front of others. Here we can see that the narrator is not only embarrassed, but also he was humiliated. Since he is not a cheat, it must have been terribly embarrassing for him to have realized that he had eaten his food at the restaurant but had no money to pay for the food. His embarrassment would have increased when the owner of the restaurant treated him as a cheat when he asked the narrator to remove his clothes. Finally, the narrator, he was at the point of removing his trousers. He was about to remove his trousers, though he has nothing inside. During that time, a blue-eyed, fair-complexioned, 6-foot man with a red turban, who was wearing white trousers, and he came and he offered to pay the amount due from the narrator to the restaurant owner. And he asked the speaker to go with him, and when the grateful speaker asks for his name, he said he had no name. A stranger came and he paid 11 annas. The bill was, it was 11 annas. He paid 11 annas, and he asked the narrator to follow him. When the speaker says mercy must be his name, he asked the stranger to tell his name, and that stranger told that he had no name. In that case, what the narrator did, he only named him as Mercy. When he called him as Mercy, he does not react, and both the narrator as well as the stranger who helped the narrator, they walked on until they reached a deserted bridge. There, after making sure that no one is around, the stranger who helped the narrator, he took out 5 wallets from his various pockets. He had 5 wallets in his pockets, and asked the speaker which of these was his. And he warned the speaker to go away without turning around, and adds that the speaker should not admit to anyone that he had seen the man. And finally, he gave the wallet to the narrator, which has been identified by the speaker, and with the money intact, and leaves the place by wishing the speaker. and also the speaker on his part hopes that God would help the stranger. It shows that the person who helped the narrator is the one who picked the pocket of the narrator. So the same pickpocketer is the stranger, the same stranger is the mercy man, and the same stranger who is a pickpocketer by profession is showing his mercy, and he is a real human being according to the context of this lesson. So my dear friends, here we can say that the pickpocketer, he helped the narrator not only at the restaurant but also outside by returning the purse. In the hotel also he helped the narrator. The narrator was humiliated in front of 50 customers, and the owner of the hotel, he was not a real human being. Although he was having enough money, he could not show his humanity on the narrator. He was humiliating the narrator, and moreover the people of the hotel, there were 50 customers in the hotel, they were not ready to show their humanity on this customer or the narrator. So at the time, this stranger came and he helped the narrator by paying 11 anna. So it shows that when he told that, when he gave 5 wallets, when he held 5 wallets in front of the narrator, we can understand the inner meaning of the sentence, that the same stranger who helped the narrator is the pickpocketer of the purse of narrator. So this is how the act of kindness is shown in this lesson. First of all, the pickpocketer is a good human being. Due to some situations which happened in his life, he might have become a pickpocketer, he might have become a robber here, but he was not that cruel like the people of the hotel. He had humanity. He was able to understand the situation, the unfair situation of the people. And then the man who faces humiliation, this man, the narrator, he faced humiliation in the restaurant, and he was saved by that strangers. And in the form of this story, the narrator is remembering that strangers. And then first thing I told you that the stranger helped the narrator by paying his 11 annas, and he is so kind enough to return the purse. He helped the narrator, he paid the bill, and then secondly he returned the purse of the narrator, and thirdly the 11 annas that he pays is not the narrator's money, but it is the money of the strangers. You could understand better, you can understand here. See, the purse of the narrator, it was stolen by the same stranger. The 11 annas, the bill of the hotel, it was paid by the same strangers. And then the stolen purse by the stranger, again it is been returned by the same stranger. And the life savings of the narrator, what was the life savings of the narrator? It was 14 rupees during that time. It was not 14 annas. Remember this point, bill was 11 annas. The life savings of the narrator was 14 rupees. Both are one mark questions here. So that 14 rupees, the life savings of the narrator, it was there in the purse. So what does it show here? It shows that the stranger, he gave his money in the hotel. He spent extra money, that is, he gave it from his wallet. So all these things are showing that pickpocketer, the man who picked the pocket of the narrator, was the real human being. He was able to understand the unfair situation of the man, and for the sake of some reasons he might have become the robber. So the narrator, Waiko Mohammad Bashir, he opines that the same stranger was the robber, and the same robber was the savior of the narrator, and the same person who helped the narrator was the one who is the real human being of the society, is the opinion of the narrator Waiko Mohammad Bashir. I hope I am clear in explaining this story, ಓರು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ್. ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಇದು. ಓರು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಕತೆ ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸುಲಭವಾದಂತಹ ಕತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನರೇಟರ್ ವೈಕೋ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಬಶೀರ್ ಒಂದು ಊರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನೂ ಗೊತ್ತು ಗುರಿ ಇಲ್ಲದಿರುವಂಥ ಊರು. ಆ ಊರಿನ ಭಾಷೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ನರೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನರೇಟರ್ ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ಯೋಗವನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಲಸಿಗರೇನು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಇವರು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಜಾಬ್ ಅದು. ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷನ್ನು ರಾತ್ರಿ 9:30ಯಿಂದ 11 ಗಂಟೆ ಮಟ್ಟ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಲಿಸ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ನರೇಟರ್. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಿಂದ ಆ ಕೆಲಸದಿಂದ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಅವ್ರು ಅರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಗಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದಿನ ಇವ್ರು ನರೇಟರ್ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಹೋಲ್ ಡೇ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಂದ್ರೆ, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಬೇಗ ಎದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಚಹಾ ಕುಡಿಬೇಕಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅವ್ರು, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ನರೇಟರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಲೇಟಾಗಿ 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಏಳುವಂಥ ರೂಢಿಯನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಒಂದಿನ 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯದ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಚಹಾ ಕುಡಿದು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿರ್ತಂತ ಒಂದು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಚಹಾ ಕುಡ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಲ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಬಿಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 11 ಅಣೆ ಅಥವಾ 11 ಅನಾಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಳಕ್ಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೈ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಪರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓನರ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಡುಗ್ತಾ ಓನರ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನನ್ನ ಪರ್ಸ್ ಕಳೆದು ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಓನರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೂಯಲ್ ಇದ್ದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ದುಡ್ಡಿತ್ತು, ರೊಕ್ಕ ಇತ್ತು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯತ್ವ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ. ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನೀವು ಮುದ್ದಾಂ ಮಾಡಾಕತ್ತಿದಿ, ನೀನು ಹೇಳಾಕತ್ತಿದ್ದು ನನಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ನೀವು ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಾಕತ್ತಿದಿ, ನಿನ್ನ ಆಟ ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ನಡೆಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ರೊಕ್ಕ ಕೊಡು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮೈ ಮ್ಯಾಗಿನ ಬಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಕಳೆದು ಹಾಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನರೇಟರಿಗೆ ಶಾಕ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂಥ ಜನನೂ ಕೂಡ ನಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನರೇಟರನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ನರೇಟರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಕೋಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ ನೀವು, ನಾ ಹೋಗಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಓನರ್ ಅವಂಗ ಅಲೌ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಓನರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನಂದ್ರೆ, ನರೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟು ನಿನ್ನ ಕೋಟ್ ತೆಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶರ್ಟ್ ತೆಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶೂಸ್ ತೆಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಫೈನಲಿ ಟ್ರೌಸರ್ಸ್, ಅವ್ದೇನು ಪ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನರೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಶಾಕ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ದಾರಿ ತೋಚದೆ, ಜನನೂ ನಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡವರು, ಅಸಹ್ಯ ಆಗಿರ್ತೈತೆ ಅವಾಗ. ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೇನು ಬಟ್ಟೆನ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕನ್ನೋ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲೊಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವ್ನ ಬಿಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಅವ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. 11 ಅಣೆ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿ ನರೇಟರ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ನರೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಹಾಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಬ್ಬರು ಸೇರಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ಡೆಸರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಲೈಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಮರುಭೂಮಿ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಬ್ಬರು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನರೇಟರಿಗೆ ತನ್ನ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನರೇಟರ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನಿನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಏನು ಅಂತ. ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನನಗೆ ಹೆಸರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಯಾಕೆ ತನ್ನ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಹೇಳವಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನರೇಟರ್ ಏನಂತಾನ, ನಿನಗೆ ಹೆಸರಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೀನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀಯಪ್ಪ, ಆದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನೀನು ಕರುಣಾಮಯಿ, ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೇಮ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಮರ್ಸಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಐತಿ ಲೆಸನ್ ಒಳಗೆ. ನೀ ಕರುಣಾಮಯಿ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಟ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅಕ್ಕನ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಂಜರ್ ಅವೇನೊಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಇರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ದವನು, ತನ್ನ ಪಾಕೆಟಿಂದ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸನ್ನು ತೆಗಿತಾನೆ. ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಹತ್ರ 1 ಪರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತೈತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಇವನ ಹತ್ರ 5 ಪರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ವು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು, ಅವನ ಕಳ್ಳ. ಈ ನರೇಟರ್ ಏನಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಪರ್ಸನ್ನು ಕದ್ದವ ಯಾರು, ಇವನ. 5 ಪರ್ಸ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಇದ್ರಾಗ ನಿಂದು ಯಾವುದು ನೋಡು ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ನರೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಶಾಕ್ ಆಗೈತಿ. ಅಲ್ಲ ಇವನ ಅಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಪರ್ಸ್ ಕದ್ದಾವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನರೇಟರ್, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಅವನನ್ನು ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನಿಂದು ಯಾವುದು ತಗೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ನರೇಟರ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ, ಇದೇ ನಂದು ಅಂತ. ಅದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಏನಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ 14 ರೂಪಾಯಿ, 14 rupees ಆಫ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಆ 14 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಈ ನರೇಟರಿಗೆ ಮಾತು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಅವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ದೇವ್ರೇನಿಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ಹೋಗು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾರು, ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಂಜರ್. ಈ ನರೇಟರ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನಿನಗೆ ದೇವ್ರು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಮಾಡಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಇದರ ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕಳ್ಳನಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಮಾಜದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣದಿಂದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣದಿಂದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ತನ್ನ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಇವ ಏನನ್ನೋ ಕದ್ದು ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಯಾರು, ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಂಜರ್. ಬಟ್ ಕಳುವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯುಮ್ಯಾನಿಟಿಯನ್ನು, ಮಾನವೀಯತೆಯನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸುವಂಥ ಗುಣ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದೇ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಟೆಲೊಳಗೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಜನ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಅವ್ರೇನು ಯಾರ್ದು ಕಳುವು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತಾವು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ತುತ್ತಿನೊಳಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ತುತ್ತನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಗುಣ ಆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಇವ ಕಳ್ಳ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಗುಣ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅವನನ್ನು ನಿಜವಾದ ಮನುಷ್ಯನನ್ನಾಗಿ ಈ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟರ್ ಹೇಳೋದೇನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಅವೇನು 11 ಅಣೆಯನ್ನು ಬಿಲ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅವನ ಸ್ವಂತ ರೊಕ್ಕ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನರೇಟರ್ ತನ್ನ ಪರ್ಸನ್ನು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ 14 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಒಂದು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ ತನ್ನ 11 ಅಣೆಯನ್ನು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸಾರಾಂಶವನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಂದರೆ ರೈಟರ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ವೈಕೋಮ್ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಬಶೀರ್ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಿಜವಾದ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಯಾರು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅವ ಒನ್ ಹೂ ಸೇವ್ಡ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ you understood the story. For the sake of Kannada medium students, I narrated the story in Kannada also. So my dear students, that's it for today's class. I completed the lesson Oru Manushan. In my next session I will switch on to the grammar. So till the time we meet next, happy learning and keep loving English language and literature. Thank you.